on President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday. An alleged Russian informant has been detained in connection with the assassination plot. Ukrainian officials say the informant was a woman who was gathering intelligence about Zelensky's travel. They also said that she had been ordered to plan an airstrike to kill the Ukrainian president. At least 8 people were killed after Russian missiles hit an apartment complex in eastern Ukraine yesterday. Over 30 people sustained injuries in the missile strike. Officials say some people are still trapped under rubble as rescue efforts continue. Russia will launch its first lunar landing spacecraft after 47 years this week. The spacecraft will be launched from an eastern Russian region. Residents of a village in Russia's far east will be evacuated prior to the launch. This is to ensure that there are no casualties if one of the booster rockets falls back to Earth. Russia's moon lander is named Luna 25. Luna 25 will take 5 days to reach the moon and another 7 days in lunar orbit. Some students of Niger's largest university took to the streets yesterday. They pledged their support for the new military regime. Some of the students even said they will lay down their lives for the military junta. This comes amid growing tensions in the region. Some West African nations have threatened military intervention in Niger. That is if the democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum is not reinstated. Meanwhile, military delegations from Mali and Burkina Faso arrived in Niger yesterday. They met the leaders of Niger's new military government. The delegation pledged their support to Niger's military junta. Mali and Burkina Faso also condemned recent sanctions against Niger. At least 10 people were wounded by an explosion at a grain port in western Turkey yesterday. Medical officials say 2 of the injured are in a serious condition. Turkey's Ministry of Transportation said no ships were damaged in the blast. Officials have launched an investigation into the incident. Israel plans to ease travel restrictions for Palestinian Americans who reside in Gaza. This is in preparation for Israel joining an American visa waiver program. Under this program, Israelis will get visa-free access to the US. However, that can only be possible if Israel gives Palestinian Americans access to its airports. Israel had earlier eased travel for Palestinian Americans living in the occupied West Bank, but not Gaza. East Timor's Prime Minister Janana Gusamo has called for a peace deal in Myanmar. Gusamo said his country will not join the ASEAN group until the bloc resolves the Myanmar crisis. East Timor's President Jose Ramos Horta backed the Prime Minister's decision. ASEAN wanted to induct East Timor into the group last year. This was almost a decade after the nation had requested a membership. The Australian police arrested 19 individuals for allegedly sharing child abuse material online. The arrests were made earlier today. Australian officials also rescued at least 13 children from further online harm. This was after receiving intelligence from the American Federal Bureau of Investigation. The joint operation began last year. The FBI had informed the Australian police of a group of men that shared child abuse material on the dark web. Protests erupted in the Caribbean nation of Haiti yesterday. Thousands took to the streets of Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. The demonstrators demanded that authorities provide civilians with better protection from growing gang violence in the nation. They even set police and government vehicles on fire during the protests. The UK has begun relocating some asylum seekers to a residential barge on the country's southern coast yesterday. The 3-story barge has 200 bedrooms and can house 500 people. This is being done to reduce the number of asylum seekers put up in hotels. The British government claims that keeping refugees in hotels is costing them over $7.5 million per day. According to officials, at least 47,000 asylum seekers are put up in hotels in the UK. A train derailed in eastern Sweden yesterday. This was after heavy rainfall washed away parts of a rail embankment. At least 3 people were rushed to the hospital. The accident forced the closure of the train tracks. In climate news, footage showed 2 funnel clouds forming in the U.S. state of New York. Earlier, the National Weather Service issued tornado warnings in the country's east coast. New York State Police confirmed some damage in a nearby town. One building lost its roof following stormy weather. In Portugal, hundreds of firefighters struggle to put out raging wildfires. It's currently being tackled by over 800 firefighters. High temperatures and strong winds are complicating efforts to combat the flames. The fires have so far destroyed around 6,700 hectares of land. Spain braced for the first day of a week-long heat wave on Monday. Meteorologists expect the heat wave to push temperatures above 44 degrees Celsius in the region. Southern Europe has been grappling with record-breaking temperatures during the peak summer tourist season. It has prompted authorities to warn of health risks. Hundreds of residents in the South American country of Peru hit the beaches. People relieved themselves from the heat on the beaches of the capital, Lima. Compared to last year, this year's temperatures rose between 3 to 4 degrees Celsius above average on the coast. Experts believe this is due to the El Niño weather phenomenon. Brazil's Environment and Climate Change Minister Marina Silva has urged people to adapt public policies to protect the Amazon rainforest. She said this during the opening of the Amazon Summit. The summit gathers heads of various states including Brazil, Colombia and Venezuela. They will aim to forge unified policies and goals on some 130 issues. These range from financing for sustainable development to indigenous inclusion in the Amazon. A new study has found that extreme events in Antarctica are very likely to become more common and more severe. This includes events such as ocean heat waves and ice loss. A study has linked the recent extreme events to climate change. South Asia has the highest percentage of children exposed to extremely high temperatures. This is according to an analysis by UNICEF. It estimates that 76% of South Asian children under 18 are exposed to scorching heat. This means 3 in 4 children in South Asia are exposed to extreme temperatures compared to only 1 in 3 children globally. Weeks of heavy rain and thunderstorms are interfering with the harvest of German farmers. A farmer in western Germany says he is afraid of a near total loss. In his wheat fields, harvesting came to a halt almost 4 weeks ago. Some of the grain have become unsuitable for the use in animal feed or for flour production. Overall, the farmer expects harvest losses of 10 to 15%. In business and tech news, Zachary Kirkhorn, the chief financial officer at electric vehicle maker Tesla, has stepped down. The move has surprised analysts. They believed Kirkhorn could have become the possible successor to CEO Elon Musk. Tesla did not give a reason for his exit. However, it has announced that accounting head Vaibhav Taneja will take over the CFO position. US-based electric vehicle parts supplier Proterra has filed for bankruptcy protection. The company has listed its assets and liabilities in the range of $500 million to $1 billion. Proterra's bankruptcy comes as the electric vehicle sector grapples with supply chain constraints, slowing demand, and a lack of funding. Public debt in most Pacific countries is expected to fall in the next 12 months. This is according to a report by the World Bank. It expects the fiscal situation in the countries to improve. This is as they gradually move towards the unwinding of COVID-19 stimulus packages. Since 2019, debt surged in the Pacific region as tourism-dependent economies were hit by COVID border closures. Back then, countries took on more debt to implement stimulus packages to support their economies. Ratings agency Moody's has downgraded the credit ratings of 10 US banks. It has also placed some banking giants on review for potential downgrades. This includes lenders like the Bank of New York Mellon, State Street, and Truist Financial. The agency also changed its outlook to negative for several other major lenders. Overall, Moody's changed the assessments for 27 banks. Fintech giant PayPal has launched its stablecoin called PayPal USD. A stablecoin is a type of cryptocurrency where the value of the digital asset is pegged to a reference asset. In this case, it's pegged to the US dollar. They aim to provide an alternative to the high volatility of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. With its latest move, PayPal has become the first major fintech firm to embrace digital currencies for payments and transfers. Reports say e-commerce giant Amazon is set to meet with the US antitrust regulators next week. The meeting comes ahead of the Federal Trade Commission's potential lawsuit against the firm. Amazon has been criticized for allegedly favoring its own products and hampering other sellers on its platform. In the upcoming meeting, Amazon is expected to try and get the FTC to drop its antitrust lawsuit. American food processing company Tyson Foods is shutting 4 more chicken plants in the US. These are offices in Arkansas, Indiana, and 2 units in Missouri. Earlier this year, Tyson closed 2 other chicken plants with almost 1,700 employees. The latest move is a blow to small communities in the states that depend on the meat packer for nearly 3,000 jobs. China's cyberspace regulator has said it has issued draft rules on facial recognition technology. The regulator says facial recognition can only be used to process information when there is a specific purpose and sufficient necessity. It added that the use of the technology will also require an individual's consent. Biometric identification, especially facial recognition, has become widespread in China. In 2020, some reports said that facial recognition was even used to activate toilet roll dispensers in public toilets. 2 US tech groups have come out in support of social media platform TikTok. This is in its lawsuit against the ban of the app in the US state of Montana. TikTok is seeking to block the ban before it takes effect on the 1st of January next year. The 2 groups backing TikTok say Montana's ban undermines the purpose of the internet. Earlier this year, Montana became the first American state to ban TikTok. Norway's Data Protection Authority has fined Facebook's parent company Meta Platforms over privacy breaches. Meta will be fined about $99,000 per day from August 14th. It will continue until the company addresses the Norwegian regulator's concerns. Moving to sports, in cricket, Australia have announced their 18-member one-day International World Cup squad. Australian batter Marnus Labuschagne has been left out. Australian selectors cited the batsman's lack of batting consistency after making the decision. Since his debut in 2020, Labuschagne has played 30 of Australia's 38 matches. He has averaged just 31.4 runs in ODI matches. Former New Zealand captain Daniel Vettori is the new head coach of the Indian Premier League team Sunrisers Hyderabad. He will replace the West Indies batter Brian Lara. Vettori has previously been the head coach of the IPL team Royal Challengers Bangalore. The Hyderabad side took to social media to bid farewell to Lara and welcome their new coach. In football, England qualified for the FIFA Women's World Cup quarter-final. This was after they defeated Nigeria on penalties. England won the shootout 4-2 after regular play ended at 0-0. They will now play against either Colombia or Jamaica on Saturday. Co-hosts Australia also advanced to the World Cup quarter-final after defeating Denmark 2-0. Australian midfielder Caitlin Food scored the opening goal in the 29th minute. The second goal was scored by Hayley Raso during the second half of the game. Australia will now play either France or Morocco on Saturday. English Premier League club Tottenham Hotspur rejected another offer from Bayern Munich for striker Harry Kane. This was Bayern's third offer for the England captain. It was worth about $109 million. This was reportedly the final offer from Bayern. French football club Paris Saint-Germain have brought in Portuguese striker Gonzalo Ramos. The 22-year-old has joined PSG on loan from the Portuguese side Benfica. The French club will also have an option to buy Ramos at the end of the season. The striker is highly rated, having scored 27 goals in 47 appearances for Benfica last season. Italian football club Inter Milan have bought goalkeeper Jan Sommer from Bayern Munich. The financial details of his contract have not been disclosed, but Inter have reportedly paid about $6 million for the Swiss shot-stopper. The 34-year-old Sommer will replace Andre Onana, who has joined the English club Manchester United. In tennis, Dan Evans has clinched the City Open in Washington. Evans defeated his Dutch opponent 7-5, 6-3 to claim the biggest title of his career. The City Open is his second title on the ATP Tour. He is the first Briton to win the title since 2003. In hockey, the Indian men's team reached the semi-final of the 2023 Asian Champions Trophy. They defeated defending champions South Korea 3-2. The goals for the Indian side came from Nilakanta Sharma, Mandeep Singh and captain Harmanpreet Singh. India's next match is against Pakistan on Wednesday. In athletics, Belarusian sprinter Kristina Simanowskaya has been cleared to run for Poland. The athletics governing body World Athletics says that she can now participate under the Polish flag. Simanowskaya has refused to go back to Belarus after she was removed from the Tokyo Olympics. This was because she had publicly criticized Belarusian coaches over some of their decisions. The sprinter has stayed in Poland since the incident and was given Polish citizenship last year. In the world of entertainment, trustees of the Directors Guild of America Pension and Health Plans have approved a free medical plan. This is for participants who lose coverage because of the ongoing WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. This comes in the wake of a similar move by the Motion Picture Industry Pension and Health Plan. Now, among Hollywood's major guilds, only WGA and SAG-AFTRA are without similar protections. The visual effects crews of Marvel Studios have filed for a unionization election with the U.S. National Labor Relations Board. The over 50-member crew says they want to be represented by the IATSE. It stands for the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. This is reportedly the first time VFX professionals have joined together to demand the same rights and protections as their colleagues in the film industry. American TV personality Wayne Brady has come out as pansexual. In an interview, Brady said, and I quote, "I'm pansexual, bisexual with an open mind." He added that he was struggling to determine his sexual identity. Brady is best known for hosting the show Let's Make a Deal. By definition, pansexual is sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction towards people of all genders. Actor Noah Schnapp has opened up about his journey of coming out as gay. Schnapp said that when he told his friends and family that he was gay, they said two simple words, "We know." He also revealed that he received thousands of texts of congratulations and rainbow flags from fans. Noah Schnapp is best known for playing the role of Will Byers in the hit Netflix drama series Stranger Things. American singer and songwriter Ne-Yo has apologized for his insensitive remarks on gender identity. During an interview, Ne-Yo said, and I quote, "I personally came from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman. Now you could identify as a goldfish if you feel." The singer was criticized for his insensitive remarks. While issuing the apology, Ne-Yo said that gender identity is nuanced and he plans to better educate himself. Singer Beyoncé has paid $100,000 for Washington, D.C. metro stations to stay open for some extra hours. This was to facilitate the safe commute of concert-goers attending Beyoncé's Renaissance World Tour. The singer paid to keep 98 metro stations open so her fans could reach home safely. This comes as D.C. experienced rain and thunder on Sunday night. The court hearing for musician Tory Lanez will continue for the second day on Tuesday. This is related to the shooting case involving rapper Megan Thee Stallion. The musician faces charges for shooting at Megan Thee Stallion in 2020, which led to her suffering injuries in her feet. After day one of the hearing, Lanez's lawyers told media that his client is incredibly remorseful. Late American-Japanese businessman Johnny Kitagawa's agency has not taken responsibility for hundreds of boys that have been abused. This is according to an investigation conducted by the United Nations Human Rights Council. A member of the group said that deeply troubling issues have been observed across Japanese media and its entertainment industry. It has also been pointed out that the absence of codes and rules around workplace behavior contributed to a culture of quote-unquote impunity for sexual violence and harassment. William Friedkin, the director of the movie The Exorcist, has died at the age of 87. Friedkin is also known for directing the movie The French Connection that fetched him an Oscar. His publicist has confirmed that he died due to heart failure and pneumonia. Friedkin's first big-screen film was Good Times, which released in 1965. Actor Sandra Bullock's longtime partner, Brian Randall, has died at the age of 57. Randall died after a 3-year battle with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. Bullock and Randall had kept their relationship out of the public eye for the most part. However, Bullock appeared on a show called Red Table Talk in 2021 and said that she had found the love of her life.